A woman moaned her way to the top of the charts, and half the country tried to make her disappear. A preacher of funk shouted a prophecy so loud that entire radio towers pulled the plug overnight.
They were dusting.
One soul queen recorded heartbreak by dialing another woman's number and leaving the tape in the mix.
Can't you see?
These weren't songs. They were detonations pressed into vinyl. By the time Marvin Gaye whispered, "Let's get it on," church leaders were calling it sin. And when Curtis Mayfield warned we were all going to hell, politicians wanted his voice erased.
While the judge and his juries.
Each of these tracks forced censors to choose: silence the music or admit the truth it played.
Funk, the whole funk, nothing but the funk.
Number 15, I'm Gonna Tear Your Playhouse Down. Ann Peebles, 1973.
But I've got news for you.
The first snare hits like a verdict. Ann Peebles doesn't sob. She issues an instruction: demolition.
Tear your playhouse down.
Recorded at High Records with a horn section that cuts like a judge's gavel, this 1973 Memphis track walks from accusation to exoneration in 3 minutes.
Play tall. You've been playing today.
Hear the bass. There's no walking here, only stalking. It pushes relentlessly under a vocal that almost clips the console because the performance is so close to breaking.
You think you got it all set up.
Engineers kept that raw edge. Programmers called it unladylike. Banned in places where a woman's fury threatened the social script, the record moved underground into juke joints and late night radio, where it became a secret anthem for people who knew betrayal up close.
Pretty soon, I'm gonna
Notice how the brass sounds like a siren, how the chorus lands like a door slamming. These production choices made censors flinch.
I'm gonna tear your playhouse down.
Paul Young would later smooth the edges, but smoothing took the danger out. Remember that. Danger ages into nostalgia, and nostalgia loses its teeth.
Room by room.
Number 14, "Die You Think I'm Sexy?" Rod Stewart, 1978. A British crooner blew up a disco mirror and the shards cut deep. When "Die You Think I'm Sexy?" dropped in 1978, pop radio crowned it an instant hit. But soul DJs in New York and Chicago slowed the tempo, pushed the low end, and made it darker. Suddenly, the song lived in two worlds: glossy daytime air and sweaty nighttime funk. The controversy wasn't only the words, it was the image of youth dancing in a way older generations called dangerous. One major AM station in Detroit refused to play even the remix, and preachers labeled it a disco disease.
Just reach out and touch me. Come on, honey, tell me so.
The secret fuel in the groove was borrowed from a Brazilian samba pattern, which proves a point.
Let me know. Just reach out and touch me.
Rhythm crosses borders even when morals don't. Picture a mirror ball fracture neon into moving bodies. That visual spread the record faster than censorship could chase it. The band became fertilizer. The underground grew louder.
You know what breaks my heart a little? Only 1% of the people who watch R&B vinyl are actually subscribed. 99 out of 100 of you keep coming back, vibing with the grooves, feeling the stories, reliving the voices that built soul itself, but you still haven't hit that button. Think about it. You've spent time here, maybe even rediscovered a song that hit you right in the chest. And yet, you're walking away before the next track drops. Subscribing costs nothing, not a cent, but it means you'll never miss the moments that remind you who you were when that record first played. R&B vinyl isn't just music, it's memory, it's heritage. It's the pulse that still beats under everything we love. Don't just listen from the sidelines. Be part of the 1% who keep the soul alive. Hit subscribe, stay, groove, and keep the record spinning with us.
Number 13, Push Push, Herbie Mann feat. Dwayne Allman, 1971. The scandal begins with a cover photo of a shirtless flutist and turns into a sensation you feel in your bones. Herbie Mann's Push Push pushed jazz into a slow, erotic zone, with Dwayne Allman's guitar groaning like a confession. Retail giants refused to stock the record. Some stocked it behind counters, or not at all, but dropped the needle and the music speaks in a language older than words, breathing, bending, tasting. Dwayne's slide moans against Mann's flute, and the rhythm section crafts a slow, patient hate. Fans traded bootlegs in private circles because suggestion can be more powerful than explicitness. Dealers and distributors feared customer complaints. Listeners feared only missing the moment. That gap between corporate caution and live sensation is where counterculture thrives. If a wordless record could challenge retail giants, imagine what a frank confession would do to radio. Number 12, If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right. Millie Jackson, 1974.
My friends tell me it's no future in life.
She doesn't plead. She narrates her own crime. Millie Jackson's version of this ballad from 1974 reads like a deposition.
And on you to tell me, am I wrong?
No apologies, only admission. The delivery is intimate. You can hear the breath between phrases as if she's inches from the microphone.
I can't be right.
Southern stations that guarded a certain family image pulled it after a week because the song forced listeners into uncomfortable rooms of their own lives. The authority here is not chart position, but effect. People stopped pretending while the song played. Imagine a late night motel light, an empty glass, a cigarette slow burn, her vocal place, you there? This was honesty that felt like a scandal. Millie's bluntness paved a direct lane toward more confrontational performance, and the cultural backlash she faced proved a rule. When women stop apologizing, institutions panic.
Without you, I'd rather live alone than alive.
Number 11, Angel Dust, Gil Scott-Heron and Brian Jackson, 1978. The groove welcomes you in and then flips the lights on.
And that was when it could have sworn.
Angel Dust is a warning set to funk. Gil Scott-Heron's voice reads like a flare shot into a crowded room.
Somebody help.
Released in 1978, the track names drugs, name streets, name's consequences, and some stations treated naming as promotion and pulled it.
Yes, and listen to the preacher.
That band paradoxically amplified the message because silence makes listeners lean toward the only voice left telling the truth.
Good. And you
Picture a Bronx apartment where the record spins and the room listens like it's been summoned. The bass and brass don't celebrate, they announce.
say, and somebody need to tell my
Gil wasn't courting charts, he was holding a mirror. The pattern interrupt here is crucial. A song that sounds like a party but reads like an alarm force cognitive dissonance.
on the high, sweat was boring.
And programming teams often chose comfort over confrontation.
Well, everybody in a circle, the whole family.
Number 10, Love to Love You Baby, Donna Summer, 1975. She recorded it lying down, and the studio became a ritual chamber. Donna Summer's 1975 recording expanded sensual expression into a form that movement could claim as its own.
Soothe my mind and set me free, set me free.
17 minutes of breath, moan, and slow build pushed disco into territory radio, and religious leaders were not prepared to accept.
There's no place I'd rather you be than with me.
AM stations either banned the full version or demanded heavy edits. Churches organized boycotts. In clubs, though, the song functioned differently. As a liberation liturgy where shared rhythm erased social shame. The production choices, long crescendos, sustained vocal textures. The tape machine kept running, made listeners feel like they were participating in something communal. Censors reacted to the form as much as to the content. The record taught a lesson. Control the duration, and you control the context. That lesson ricocheted across radio schedules and living rooms alike. Number 9, Woman to Woman, Shirley Brown, 1974.
Where I'm coming from. Now, Barbara, I don't know how you're going to take this.
She picks up a phone and the record becomes a conversation that should have been private.
That the man you're in love with, he's mine.
Shirley Brown's 1974 hit opens with a spoken intro and grows into a one-act drama where accusation is art.
Then you know how I...
Labels called it confrontational, and some local stations in Louisiana refused to play it.
Can't you see where I'm coming from?
Yet the song climbed to the top of the R&B chart because listeners recognized the scene and the voice.
Break up my happy home.
Strings swell, the organ leans gospel, and Shirley places the listener in the room between two women. This is music functioning as theater, because when music stages a domestic crisis with dignity, audiences respond.
So I'm telling you these things to let you know how much I love that man.
The band doesn't erase the feeling. It signals that the track touched nerves the industry preferred remain numbed.
I'm wrong. I ain't gonna let you.
That friction, audiences craving honesty, gatekeepers fearing exposure, creates the best songs.
Sleeps in and every piece of food he eats. You see, I make it possible.
Number 8, Fuck You, Symphony, Millie Jackson, live 1979. Here the orchestra backs an obscenity and the obscene becomes art. Millie's 1979 live performances, preserved in live and uncensored recordings, turn profanity into an orchestral gesture. Violins lift, brass punctures, and the expletive lands like a banner. Radio wouldn't touch it, but underground FM and cassette culture spread the tape like contraband wisdom. The piece became a ritual for listeners who wanted permission to feel anger out loud. The human detail, audience laughter punctures the line with intimacy. This is communal therapy disguised as music. Censors mistook theatrical vulgarity for ugliness. Audiences read it as honesty. That inversion eats at the edges of cultural control. When art reframes transgression, the moral machinery sputters. After that release, how do you even talk about sex and music without asking who gets to define acceptable language? Number 7, Let's Get It On, Marvin Gaye, 1973. Marvin moved from public conscience to private altar and radio bristled. Let's Get It On is intimate gospel. Breath, piano, tenderness reframed as desire. When it arrived in 1973, some stations in conservative markets refused to play it, but the song rewired expectations. Soul music could be erotic without being vulgar. Production choices matter. String pads that swell like a second skin, backing vocals that answer the lead like a ritual chorus. The studio environment, candles, low light, tape machines left rolling, produced takes that felt like confession. The cultural consequence was simple. Listeners discovered the legitimacy of adult desire in public art.
I've been waiting so long. Now we go.
There is an escalation here. After confessional songs, the next threshold is political invective, and the list accelerates from intimacy into outright prophecy. Number 6, The Pill, Loretta Lynn, 1975.
'Cause now I've got the pill.
She turned birth control into a scandalous anthem, and radio counters closed faster than record dealers could count the controversy.
This old maternity dress.
Loretta Lynn's The Pill, released in 1975, reads like a manifesto for autonomy. Mini skirts, freedom from maternity dresses, a woman deciding she will choose her life, and many country stations refuse to play it.
I've got the pill.
The lyric felt like a dare, and the reaction proved the point. Silence only amplified curiosity.
When I was your girl, promised if I
Picture small town AM towers dropping the track while young women press the 45 to their chests like contraband.
you and your hens play while holding a couple.
The consequence was paradoxical, banning fed crossover interests, and the song became one of Lynn's most talked about singles. Sir, the human detail is sharp.
I'm making up for since I've got
Lynn wrote the words from the vantage of a woman done with excuses, and the production kept the delivery plain and direct, so the message couldn't be dressed up or softened.
you wine me and dine me.
Censors treated the record like a political act. Listeners treated it like permission. That distinction, who gets to decide what a woman sings about her body, split radio from listeners, and it taught artists a lesson. Controversy could be its own amplifier.
But all I've seen of this old world is a bed and a dock.
Number 5. Who is he and what is he to you? Bill Withers, 1972.
I don't know who he is.
Bill Withers doesn't explode. He tightens the room until it becomes unbearable.
Tells me he's not.
The song's power is in the gaps. A bass line that creeps, a cymbal that hushes, a voice that asks the question and leaves you to answer.
Now when
Some stations found the mood too stark for their carefully curated image and shelved it. Yet fans felt the realism, a domestic scene rendered with forensic calm.
are you wishing?
The authority here is psychological. Withers demonstrates how understatement can provoke deeper emotional engagement than any shout. That control prepares listeners for industry chaos because the next entry is a business scandal masquerading as a pop hit.
And when you
Number 4, Don't Blame It on the Boogie. The Jacksons, 1978.
I don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the
Dance Floor, Joy Meets Publishing Confusion. Mick Jackson wrote the song. The Jacksons released their version soon after and the market split.
I just can't control my feet. I just can't.
Some stations refused to play either version rather than wade into the legal mess. But the Dance Floor didn't care about corporate argument.
Magic music bruised me. That dirty rhythm fools me. The devil.
Hand claps, synth lines, and Michael's playful grit turned the song into communal delight. That's a pattern you'll see again.
Just got the sunshine. Yeah. Moonlight.
Controversy around a song can create alternate pathways for success. Public appetite often decides the fate of a record long before lawyers do.
That night in Frisco. At every kind of disco. From that night.
The transition matters. Business friction gives way to artistic consequences. And the next Marvin track shows how intimacy can be policed with surgical efficiency.
Get fever. A fire burns inside me. Boogie's got me.
Number 3, You Sure Love to Ball, Marvin Gaye, 1974.
So I can love you good. Oh, babe.
The title is an act of provocation. The recording is an exercise in closeness, recorded during the Let's Get It On sessions.
Oh, honey, I hope you never freeze.
The single's suggestive title and audible breath drew instant scrutiny.
Oh, honey, you sure love me.
Motown released it selectively, and stations in key markets pulled it from rotation. The single briefly charted and then vanished from mainstream playlists. Marvin seldom performed it live because the material felt too intimate to reproduce on stage. That partial suppression made the song into a whispered legend that producers and samplers would mine for decades. The cultural lesson: censorship often creates scarcity, and scarcity breeds mystique. From private intimacy, we pivot to public outrage because the next artist does more than whisper. He names names and dares the world to listen. Number 2, Don't Worry. If there's a hell below, we're all going to go. Curtis Mayfield, 1970.
The judge and his juries dictate the law.
Curtis didn't murmur, he prophesied. On his 1970 solo debut, Curtis, this track reads like a civic sermon over funk.
Pimping people is the rule.
Political actors, charlatans, and systemic rot all receive an uncompromising call out.
Everybody praying.
Several major markets banned the record for its bluntness, but for many listeners, it functioned as a pulse check. A sonic wake-up call that fused social commentary with irresistible groove.
Whitish. Blacks and the crackers.
Picture a Dodge Dart rolling down the city block, windows down, the radio slamming truth into the night.
Cat calling. Love falling, fussing and a cussing.
Curtis fused prophetic urgency and melody, and in doing so, mapped a route for future generations to weaponize rhythm against complacency.
Time to do. Everybody.
The band didn't erase the blueprint, it amplified its resonance.
Sisters. Brothers and the
Number 1, One Notion Under a Groove, Funkadelic, 1978. The final act is not just a song, it is a manifesto.
Down the hang-up alleyway.
George Clinton invited the world into a psychedelic congregation with One Nation Under a Groove, and for some, the invitation felt like insurrection. Released in 1978, the track blends spacey psychedelia and lean funk to argue that music can be an act of liberation. Some stations in conservative regions refused to play it. Others didn't know what to do with its audacity. Yet in basements, roller rinks, and underground clubs, it functioned like gospel. People moved and thought at once. The chorus arrives like a communal breath, a promise that unity can be built from rhythm.
Oh, nothing but funk. One nation.
That's the payoff. Where other songs stoked private revolt, this one offered a public possibility.
The whole funk.
When bodies move in sync, thought follows and choices change.
Gonna be freaking.